Experience Karen Hunter in a completely different way. Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me in Karen Hunter is Awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed. How is everyone? If you missed yesterday's show, I kicked it off in I'm listening back to it very powerfully. Let me just say the show yesterday was pretty powerful. And I'm no Negrodamus, but as I was speaking to you yesterday, it is people who have lived a longer time, who have read and studied some things maybe more deeply. You start to see patterns develop in society and history. While it does not repeat, it definitely rhymes. And we're in a cycle. And I woke up today. First of all, all my stock accounts are in the trash. So I said, Terry Igioma, tap in. What the hell? Okay, so we're going to talk about the Dow falling 800 points. This is, I think, the second worst stock market crash in recent history, and both under this guy. First time under this guy, second time under this guy. And it's around these tariffs, right? And so I was saying, you know what? We had heroin. I broke down Nixon, Ehrlichman, heroin, marijuana, criminalized, demonized. Let's go. And then it was crack with Reagan with the crack. And I said, what are they going to do now? Fentanyl. Who knew? And I know that there is a fentanyl problem, but I thought we arrived at the place that, you know, drug use and abuse is a health crisis. I thought we have shifted now that it is white folk, meth and that. No, now fentanyl. So apparently the tariffs, this is what this administration, and I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. Talking about fentanyl. I said, what now? All right, so let me give you the news. Wall Street, 800 points. For those of you who have stock accounts, it's about 1.9%. That was as of 11 o'clock this morning. It's steadily falling and rising a little bit, but it's a mess. It was a mess yesterday. General Motors, Tesla's getting, I'm not mad about that. Those of you who have Teslas, I know there's a whole community of Tesla drivers. Y'all like to do karaoke and all this stuff. I know it's fun. It's a fun car. However, this would be nice to reduce the wealth of one person. You know, do like, I think Sheryl Crow, she traded in her Tesla and then donated the money to NPR. Not that everyone could do that. What is that, Smith?
Turn into Teslas.
Okay, I like that. Okay, thank you. That scared me. I said, who is talking? Is that God? All right. Gold prices surged, which makes sense. And I'm like, oh, they playing. Oh, they playing. Fort Knox, gold prices are surging. Fine with me. Canada responded with its own tariff. It's like, oh, okay, I see your tariff and I'm going to raise you. Tariffs, nearly $100 billion worth of U.S. imports. What we don't realize from electricity, some of y'all about to be in the dark. Some of y'all, the light's about to turn out because Canada's like, flip that switch. Yeah, they playing games down there, and we control the electricity for California, New Hampshire, is it Vermont, New York? Let me, there's North Dakota. Turn the lights out. Turn off the lights, sweet darling. Yes, I'm not joking. Cotton, soybeans. China's getting in. China's like, okay, Canada, hold my beer. I apologize. Those were Chinese imports. So China's like, we too will be imposing tariffs. Now, here's the wild thing. Our tariffs on them impacts us, the people, the purchasers, the consumers, the American citizens, and their tariffs on us impacts us because you thought the eggs were gone. You thought there's no eggs. You about to find out there's going to be not a whole lot of things, but I've been saying you got to stay ready. You got to stay ready. You know, we got to feed ourselves. I've been saying this. Okay. So China fresh tariffs on cotton, corn, soybeans, wheat, breadbasket, Ukraine. All right, I'm gonna put that over there. It's all connected, but we don't have the capacity to see the dots. And on purpose, they've scattered the dots, so you're not connecting the dots. The dots mean nothing. It's this. Look over here. We're playing whack-a-mole with our own intelligence. It's not a pretty picture, but China's like, okay, Canada, hold my beer, and then Mexico's coming. Yes, we're coming too. So economists are warning that the cost of the tariffs will likely be passed down to the American consumers. We've been saying this. Even Ferris Bueller's ugly ass, I can't stand this guy, by the way, because he's such a problematic human being. But what's his name? Ferris Ben Stein explained how tariffs have failed. Ben Stein is a Trumper, right? I think he's in alignment. So this must have been before. Is this before, during, or after his Trump alignment? Doesn't matter. Oh, this is even more poignant. Okay, so Ferris Bueller, what year did that come out? Because everybody in there is old now. Hold on, let me just do a quick Google search in real time. Ferris Bueller, I'm going to do it right now, Smiz. 1986, look at you, Smiz knowing the dates. Matthew Broderick, who's now very old. Alan Ruck, who's now very old. Jennifer Grey, who looks completely different now. Jeffrey Jones, who from Beetlejuice, also a little problematic. He made transition. This movie came out in 1986. This is the Ben Stein, the teacher who was Ferris. This is what he said about tariffs that nobody was listening to then, 1986. Play it.
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? The tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which anyone raised or lowered, raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects? It did not work, and the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression.
What could go wrong? What could happen here? Because history rhymes, and we're supposed to be smart enough to say, hey, that happened then, let's not do it again. Because it didn't work then. What makes us think it would work now? But, I had a light bulb moment yesterday. We had Terry Williams on, United Bank president. And I said to her, because she was like, the FDIC, that they couldn't get rid of that because that would mean the collapse of the entire financial system. And I said to her, if y'all listened yesterday, what if that's the plan? And if you could see her face in real time, it was as if she had not considered that the president of the United States might actually be conspiring to dismantle the United States of America from the inside out. Didn't dawn on her, because who would do such a thing? I mean, you're the president of this, you're the carekeeper of this United States. Why would you do things to undermine it? Unless you are actually a Russian op. Unless we are an annex of Russia now, which it seems like that might be the case. The former ambassador to Russia, he posted on social media today, and I was like, oh, shoot. Michael McFaul, McFaul, Michael McFaul, diplomat, served as the United States ambassador to Russia from 2012 to 2014. This is what he posted. Journalists need to stop accepting this false frame from Trump that he is trying to negotiate a peace deal between Ukraine and Putin. He is not. He is throwing the Ukrainians under the bus and embracing Putin. This is not mediation. Why would you do that? I'm old enough to remember listening to stories of the Bay of Pigs and, people hiding under desks because of the communists. And isn't that why we went to Vietnam? To stop the spread of communism. Russia, from Rocky on, Russia's the problem. Now we are literally in bed with the Russians, and we got Tulsi garbage and all of this. This is craziness. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And this is where we are. So we're going to talk about solutions, because this is how I'm rolling. But in addition to China, Canada retaliated, we are already feeling it. Those of you who like maple syrup, as I do, like pure maple syrup, all the people that like to drink, get your drink on. Canada's like, good luck. in addition to all the other things. Now, here's what you need to know about fentanyl. So Trump, the justification is, you are flooding our borders with fentanyl. Canada, Justin Trudeau had facts and stats, which are important. He said, no justification. Because less than 1% of the fentanyl interception at the U.S. border has come from Canada. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. This is not about fentanyl. Earlier Monday, the foreign minister from Canada, Melanie Joly, 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 she reported that Trump's tariffs represented, quote, an existential threat to us because jobs are at risk, because tariffs hurt people. Now they have to retaliate with tariffs. And the immigration minister, Mark Miller, warned that as many as 1 million jobs in Canada were at risk if the tariffs are implemented, given how intertwined trade is between the United States and Canada, including electricity. People about to be in the dark. They said we can't replace an economy that is responsible for 80% of our trade overnight. It's going to hurt. But you know who's going to really hurt? People who already can't get eggs. I went to the store on Sunday, and there were no eggs at all in my favorite store. So I was like, let me try the next store. And it was sparse, but the eggs were there, and they were $12. I'm paying $1 a egg. I know it's an egg. $1 a egg. $1 per egg. And I bought 2 because that. And I don't even really eat eggs that much. I'm like, am I the problem? Probably. This is terrible. So consumers, people who buy stuff, isn't it nice to be in a financial fast though, a little bit? So people who buy stuff will be seeing higher prices on gas, according to Gas Buddy, 40 cents per gallon, as if. Read somewhere it could be as high as $6 a gallon. That is untenable, $6 a gallon. If you take super. What about the truck drivers? How's that going to be passed? Because they need to fill up. So we're going to now shout out to my truckers out there. I would love to know how this is going to impact y'all. But goods and services, including cars. We were just talking about, I forgot who I was talking with, about the car prices dropping. Remember during COVID, it was like there was too much, there weren't enough cars. And so the used cars, the pre-owned cars were very expensive. Well, that has reversed in the last few months. And I think that's going to reverse again. U.S. imports, $45 billion of agricultural products come from Mexico. Almost 3/4 of vegetables, fruit, beer, tequila, other drinks and spirits, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. At the same time, U.S. imported roughly $40 billion worth of Canadian agricultural products as well, including beef, pork, grains, potatoes, canola oil, which we shouldn't be using anyway. I'm going to say less about that, but y'all know already. And according to the Atlanta Fed, the tariffs on 3 key U.S. trading partners, we're talking Canada, Mexico, and China, would bring up prices on everyday purchases, including food and beverages, by as much as 1.63%, which the businesses, of course, will be passing along to me and you. You know, because as if they weren't price gouging. They don't have to do this, by the way. All of these grocery stores, they don't have to rate. Y'all already raised the prices on us. You already are doing that. So be a good citizen? I doubt it. These are capitalists with a capital C. But those of you who are in the market to buy a car, those are going to be hit the hardest, some of the hardest. So as much as $12,000 more on some models. So, we are here. We're going to pay attention. I don't think I'm prophetic at all. But I do think we should be paying attention. This is what it looks like. And this is how you can prepare for times, because you can see, they call it reading the tea leaves. But no, we got this person in who told you what he was going to do. We've been talking about Project 2025 for at least a year before the election. It was like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. I mean, some like Larry and Clay, y'all, they were reading from it on a regular basis. And the goal back in 2016, because I sat with Steve Bannon, was to dismantle this government. He wanted to get rid of the Department of Education and all these departments, the post office, everything then. Now they can run a Boston. They have the House, they got the Senate, and they have the judiciary in the Supreme Court. And the executive branch with the guy that has the 3rd grade education and can't read, But he has the executive order pen too. What are we doing? Well, we have to double down on us, double down on community, pay attention to one another, love one another, but also make sure we have each other's back because winter is here. It's not just coming, it's here. It's snowing. It's a blizzard. 866-801.
Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.